The candidate for District 5, Choctaw and Winston Counties, nominated by the Committee on Nominations, is Mr. Thomas Marty Crowder. And lastly, the Credentials and Election Committee will now collect any outstanding ballots. If you have a ballot that has not been cast yet, please hold up your hand so that one of the members of the committee can pick up your ballot. The C&E chairman will report the election results, including any ballots taken up today, toward the end of this meeting. And thank y'all again for coming. Brian?
Thank you, Curtis. Our next order of business is approving the minutes from last year. Now, I have a copy of the minutes here, but I'll entertain a motion to approve and dispense with reading of the minutes if you allow that. All right, have a second? All those in favor? All right, I'll share you the time of reading the minutes. But a copy of the minutes are available after the meeting if anybody wants a copy of it. At this time, I'd like to call your board president, Mr. Marty Crowder, to the stage for his president's report.
Y'all come in through the tent outside. You know, you registered there when you came in, and then you got your food out there. And, you know, we needed the tent out front today to make all of this happen, like discussed before. And you notice that it was air conditioned? Well, we decided, well, I didn't decide, but the staff says, you know, we can't do this without having an air-conditioned tent, some comfort to come in and prepare the food, and I think they made a great choice. You know, there's a story I heard about a farmer in the early 1940s who was spotted by a TVA man. And this farmer was sitting on a hill on the side of the road at dusk. He was looking down the hill at his farm, at his house and his barn and his smokehouse, and they were all aglow with electric lights. He had just been hooked up to electricity by the local co-op. And he told the TVA man, he said that it was the darndest thing he'd ever seen. And a few days later, that TVA man was attending church when the same farmer stood up to address the congregation. He says, brothers and sisters, I want to tell you this. The greatest thing on earth is to have the love of God in your heart. And the next greatest thing is to have electricity in your house. And I want to add one more thing to that list, air conditioning. My wife's sitting right here looking at me, and I'd like to modify it again. Like 1A would be my wife, if God, between God and electricity. But back in 1991, I started 7th grade at Ware Attendance Center in the middle of August. And I began the same day practicing on the Pee Wee football team. So all of the boys in 7th grade at Ware were on the Pee Wee football team. And back then, all practice was conducted during the school day, you know, between 8 and 3. The high school practiced the last period of school, and the junior high was right after lunch. And the Pee Wee team practiced at 10 o'clock in the morning in August. And we'd go out and practice for an hour, and then we'd go to English class. And our classrooms weren't air conditioned. And as 7th grader, all of us boys, we were learning, they were working hard at football, and we were learning how to sweat, and we were learning how to smell. English class that year was misery. The paper on my desk was always just soaking wet from sweat, and they had a big old cast iron fan on a stand, you know, in the corner, and it didn't help to cool off at all. All it did was circulate all that stinking air and mixed it all together around the room. Mr. Rogers, he was our English teacher, he told our coach, he said, you know, you need to make those boys shower before coming to class. But we were rough and we were tough, but none of us wanted to take a shower next to each other. English class was misery. I think I've said that already. You know, one of the hot political topics in Mississippi's in the 1980s, I remember this, was was air conditioning in public schools. It was in the news, they talked about it. 70% of the Mississippi schools were not air conditioned in the 1980s. 70%. Local school boards were hounded by parents and folks in the community about spending money to put air conditioning in school, but they were working on tight budgets, and they could only get more money by raising taxes and millage rates or through bonds, and that was an issue in itself. And it was even an election issue in the 1987 governor's race between Ray Mavis and Jack Reed. And you're probably asking yourself, what does this have to do with that Jeep Grand Cherokee we're giving away? Well, we're going to get there. But I need to tell you this. Air conditioning does not work without electricity. We're heading into a situation here in Mississippi and in the TVA service territory and in the U.S. where the demand for electricity is going to exceed the supply. The leaders in the Golden Triangle they do a really great job of attracting industry and creating jobs right here, and they all need power. They got data centers being built to run computers, and they're being built across the South and across the U.S., and they consume a lot of energy. The government regulations make it hard to provide that power and meet all the environmental regulations that the government wants us to meet. You know, remember just a year and a half ago, right before Christmas in 2023, it got bitterly cold. And Ford County was ordered by TVA to implement rolling blackouts to conserve energy. And TVA could not meet the energy demand, and if we did not start cutting your power off in 30-minute intervals, the electric grid would have become too unstable and would have automatically shut down to prevent risk of damage to the system. And this was the first time in TVA's history that local power companies like Ford County were required to implement rolling blackouts. We need more reliable power. You know, TV didn't anticipate the growth in load or the growth in power demand beginning in this decade around 2020. But in Washington, D.C., like I said, laws have been passed and are being passed that are making it impossible to keep burning coal to produce electricity. And, you know, in 1985, TVA had 12 coal-fired power plants, but it's shut down all but 4 today because of environmental regulations. TVA planned in the 1970s to construct 17 nuclear reactors. But then the 3 Mile Island nuclear reactor failure in 1979 in Pennsylvania, it contributed to terminating construction of 5 TVA nuclear plants in the 1980s. Government regulations after this accident made it very expensive to retrofit and finish construction of TVA's plants. TVA did complete 7 reactors, which are in operation today at 3 different sites. The government in Washington incentivizes and subsidizes wind and solar power. And then they tell us that it is cheaper than anything else. But they don't like it that TVA is building natural gas plants which emit carbon dioxide. You know, TVA has to build natural gas plants to back up the solar panels that don't work when the sun is shining. The highest demand ever for TVA was over 35,000 megawatts, and this occurred just a few months ago on January 22nd. And at that time, TVA was able to meet the demand, but they had to purchase 5,000 megawatts from other generators in the Midwest and northeastern U.S. through grid interconnection points. We're thankful that TVA was able to plan and prepare and provide power when they had such a demand. But as demand grows across the United States, all these neighboring power systems, they're shutting down their coal plants and even their nuclear generation plants. The availability of reliable reliable power from neighboring systems is shrinking. So this is what I want to tell you before we give away the vehicle. You need to let your elected officials know how their decisions affect you. It will make a difference. You know, back in Ware, when I was in junior high again in 1982, I had survived the 7th grade and now was an 8th grader. And now most of our classrooms had air conditioning, because there was a big grassroots effort across the community over my 7th grade year to get air conditioning in the schools. You know, thinking back, I'm sure this is how it happened. I'm sure that my teachers must have called the superintendent and the board member if you're okay paying higher prices and subsidizing green power, or if you want economical and reliable power that keeps the grass green. And finally, you need to tell them what your list of greatest things are. Mine, I'm gonna tell you mine, is salvation through Jesus Christ, my wife and my kids, electricity, and air conditioning. So thank you.
Effort to provide excellent and reliable service, we've invested $16.6 million in use of the cooperative. In an effort to provide excellent and reliable service, we've invested $16.6 million in utility covenants. Our financial record, Brian Clark.
Mr. Marty, Mr. J, thank both of you. Y'all did an excellent job. First and foremost, I want to thank you, our members. At Fort County, you're not just customers. You're our owners. You're our neighbors. You're the heartbeat of this co-op. Your participation, your voice, drive us in everything that we do. In your brochures, you see our topic today is about a good foundation, right? We've talked about that. You've heard several of us talk about Jesus Christ, our Savior, our families, what we're grounded in. But at Fort County, our mission is to improve the quality of life of all those that we touch. And there's 3 main areas that drive that, and that's you, our members, is one of them. Next, I want to recognize the incredible team of employees who make Fort County is one of them. Next, I want to recognize the incredible team of employees who make Fort County run daily. The men and women who work, often behind the scenes, often at night, and as this year has taught us, often every weekend with storms, to keep power flowing to you. Because the truth is, if your lights are out, so are we. This past year has tested us once again, and continues to, with severe weather. We saw devastating storms roll through our service area, some of which left behind significant damage. But as always, our team rose to the challenge. To our line workers, engineers, dispatchers, and support staff, you were out there, in the rain, in the wind, in the dark, doing what you do best. You restore power, but you restore more than that. You restore comfort. You restore peace. Sometimes you work all night, sometimes and often away from your families. And you don't do it for the recognition. You do it because it's the right thing to do. On behalf of our board, our leadership team, and our members, all the employees at Fort County, I want to say thank you. Your commitment, your courage, and your dedication embody the co-op spirit that we were all built on over 86 years ago. You're the backbone of this organization, and we're proud of each and every one of you. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize your board of directors. Our board of directors are not only your representatives, they're dedicated stewards of this co-op. They bring local insight, deep care for our communities, and a commitment to sound governance. Over the past year, they've worked diligently to ensure we stay true to our mission, while also preparing for our future. They've taken time to educate themselves on issues ranging from new, evolving, emerging technologies and regulatory changes, including cybersecurity, infrastructure investment, and classes on co-op finance. Our board is never content to simply just sit in meetings. They ask tough questions, they seek better answers, and help guide us with steady, informed leadership. To our board, thank you for your time, your wisdom, and your unwavering commitment to the members that you all serve. Your leadership is what keeps us growing and grounded. As we look to the future, we're all focused on continuing to provide reliable, affordable electricity to our members, while also adapting to new opportunities. We're investing in smarter infrastructure, systems that help us identify outages and restore your power faster. And we're working hard to ensure that we remain financially strong so we can keep your rates competitively low. And I'm proud to say in this year's budget, we do not predict and we're not asking for a rate increase. Thank you. We know the world of energy is ever changing, and we want to make sure that Fort County remains not just part of that change. We know the world of energy is ever changing, and we want to make sure that Fort County remains not just part of that change, but we're a seat at the table. Co-op spirit that everyone before us has shown over the 85 years. God bless you, and thank you for being here. Now we have a few more business things I want to discuss with you. We're almost there. As Mr. Marty says, he's teasing the Jeep. We're almost there. Our mission statement here at Fort County is to improve the quality of life of all those that we touch. And yes, restoring power is a big part of that, right? We ventured off into the internet. That's a big part of that. The Fort County Foundation, that's a big part of that. But there's a part that I don't know that we always talk about, and that's the training that our board does, right? Mr. Bill, Mr. Marty, Mr. Bruff, if y'all will come up here. I want to recognize them for continuing education. All the board has gone through this. These three gentlemen just finished theirs this year. I got some plaques for you. Mr. Sanders, Mr. Crowder, and Mr. Bell. Thank y'all for your service to Fort County. Thank you, gentlemen. Look, another big part of what we do other than poles and wires is investing in our future. And it's real easy with the next set of people I'm going to mention. I don't know if all of you know it, but Fort County participates heavy in our youth. There's a program called the Co-op Youth Leaders Program, and it's sponsored by us along with a lot of other co-ops across the state. Fort County's been doing this for over 30 years. These young men and women are juniors in local high schools. These young men learn about the electric co-op world. Then we send them on a trip to Jackson to see what it's really like. And then we send them on a trip to DC to see what it's really like. And I'm proud to say that one of our youth from last year, from Starkville, Miss Maggie Martin, went on to win the national title for her speech and for representing our community. So this year's youth tour winners, we have 4 of them. One of them could not be here today because she's on a trip in Guatemala. That's just the character of these young men and women that we have. So when I call your name, y'all come up here. Armando Dunan from New Hope High School. Bess Summerall from Caledonia, she's the one on the mission trip. Hayes Carver from Starkville Christian School. And Carrie Beth Honnell from Starkville High School. Congratulations on winning the representation for our co-op. And if you'd like, I'd like for you to say some words.
Hello everyone, my name is Hayes Carver. I just wanted to get up here and say thank you to all of you for sponsoring and supporting Ford County. In your supporting of Ford County, you've provided Armando, Carrie Beth, Bess, and I with an opportunity to attend the Youth Cooperative Tour in Washington, D.C. So again, I just wanted to come up here and say thank you to Ford County and its customers for all your support of us and for our community and the state. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Well, afternoon now. Hold up, I have a little thing written down and okay. My name is Armando Dunnan, and I just want to take a moment to say thank you to all of you guys for helping us do this amazing thing. You guys have made it possible for me, Carrie Beth, Hayes, and Bess to be a part of this amazing program, and it is really, really cool. It truly has been an incredible experience so far, and it's going to be an incredible experience still. And it's just awesome. I'm at a loss for words. And so on behalf of all of us, I just want to say thank you to Ford County for helping us get here, and thank you to all of you guys for helping support us. Thank you. Oh.
You gotta tell them that you speak French first.
Oh, well, so I can also speak a second language. I'm very fluent in French, and these my fellow students and colleagues would like for me to say something in French. Merci beaucoup à tout le monde pour m'aider, moi et mes amis ici, pour atteindre ces buts que je sais pas quoi plus de dire là. Je suis un peu étonné et un peu surpris. Merci beaucoup. Thank you everyone.
Hey y'all, I'm Carrie Beth Honnell, and I don't have a speech or speak a second language. Go ahead and say that. I just want to say thank y'all so much for letting us go on these trips. I've met so many incredible people, and I've been to so many incredible places. I've learned so much in every aspect going through this program. Like, before I came here, I know what a co-op was. I got that definition down now. I got y'all. It's like when I heard speaking about it earlier, I was like, hey, I learned that. It's fun. Even out of this program, Ford County has been so good to my family, just where we even out of my family, I cannot be any more appreciative and just being a part of this co-op. It means so much, I know, to me and my family, so I just couldn't say thank y'all enough. Thank y'all.
You see what our future is. Thank y'all. And Armando, you may have to tell me after the meeting what that really means. Okay. All right, up next also, remember, our mission statement is to improve the quality of life of all those that we touch. This year, it's hard to believe it's gone by this quick. It's 10 years that the Ford County Foundation has been serving you by rounding up your members' bills and giving back to all your communities. And we just want to play a short video for you to show thank you for your generosity to our communities.
I just just want to say thank you to the bottom of my heart from the collective part of our board of directors on the Dream Center Golden Triangle.
And, you know, you get to meet those people.
Appreciate what you do and allowing us to manage it. We appreciate your trust and all that.
Yeah. Members of Ford County. I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody with the Ford County Foundation, because everybody here at Choctaw County School District has benefited from it.
I'll share, I just want to say thank you to the Fort County Foundation and the Fort County members that made this happen. Without y'all, we couldn't do what we do today.
Hey, I'm Brian with Fort County Electric Power Association, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all the members that allow your bill to be rounded up every month to go to the Fort County Foundation. You've made a difference. It's not me, it's not one individual person, it's us together. 93% of members contribute to the Fort County Foundation, and we've made a big impact in our communities. Thank you for everything you do, not just your financial assistance, but your support. We love you. Thank you.
Together we have differences. Together we are bolder, braver, stronger.
In recognition of 10 years of service that the Fort County Foundation has done to all the members of Fort County, remember, big kudos to all of you. 93% of y'all in this room contribute to the Fort County Foundation. But right now, I'd like Miss Deanie, Miss Sue, and Mr. Michael to come up here. We want to just give y'all a little token of appreciation. I know y'all can't read it from back there, but what it says is, with sincere appreciation, Michael Sanders, celebrating 10 years of service to the community, Fort County Foundation Board of Directors. So thank y'all.
Thank you very much.
We love y'all, and here's to 10 more years, guys. All right, we're close. At this time, I'd like to call Jamie Ballard with the Credentials and Elections Committee to come up and give a report.
So if you ever realize you're on a committee with any of these guys, don't miss a meeting or you end up having to come up here and talk. So the election process for Fort County Board of Directors involves 2 steps. There's a nominating committee made up of members that meets at least 60 days before the election, and according to our bylaws, this committee nominates one and only one candidate per seat to be elected. The nominees put forward by the nominating committee are then on the ballot for the upcoming election. The committee put forth the names of the incumbent directors. Names may also be on the ballot by the nomination per member petition process. in which case a member gets 50 ballot signatures from other members. This year, no petitions were received. Therefore, only the candidates from the nominating committee were on this year's ballot. In order to properly elect a Ford County Director, a quorum of 10% of the total membership and 5% of the membership of each district must be present either by ballot, proxy, or in person. Surveys and ballot systems has certified that sufficient ballots were received to meet the quorum. The Election and Credential Committee would like to report that after a tally of ballots received by mail, by proxy, by electronic means, and by votes today, the results for the election are as follows. For Board of Directors, District 1, Johnny Johnson received 5,090 votes. For Board of Directors, District 5, Marty Crowder received 4,397 votes. Mr. Johnson and Mr. Crowder are duly elected to the board. Thank you.
All right, I've said it a few times, we're close. Get your white tickets out, get them ready, because in just a minute we're going to do that. All right, last order of business. There is no unfinished business from last year, and unless there's some new business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting so we can give away some prizes. All right, do I have a second? All those in favor? Anybody opposed? All right, the meeting's adjourned. We're going to give away some prizes. John, do you want to recognize the electric credit winners we've already received?
So here are our, you can read them all.
Yeah. Christina McKinley from Ackerman, Justin Saul from Macon, Shirley Pinky from Columbus, Anthony Nelson Columbus, David Carter Ackerman, and Ella Drake from Starkville. They each won $500. And John, I think you have some extra prizes we need to give away. Is that right?
That's right. So
Go ahead.
we've got some unclaimed prizes up here. Let's get your red tickets out.